We are here to represent Sacramento talent. We've all been working in the industry a long time, and we want to make sure that we take our talents to the big stage and tell everybody how much talent's in Sacramento. So that's what we're here to do. We want to talk a little bit about how we started, and I will defer to CP over here to get the ball rolling.
Well, started out when I was about 15, learning from this man here, Paul Martin, and man, just kept on growing for I don't know, 9 years. I drew pretty much full time for 9 years, and then I started working in animation, and from there I moved into comics. If I was going to give advice to younger artists, I would say get a rice cooker and a crock pot, and learn how to use it. That's excellent advice, because the crock pot and the rice cooker, you can just press a button, and then you can get back to draw.
There you go, draw.
What you get paid for.
I think everybody here would agree that, man, if you're passionate about this art form and you're passionate about comic books, just get in and do it with everything you've got. Do it until you can't do it anymore, because that's what we did.
Yeah, my thing was I just started going to a lot of conventions all the time and showing the editors my art, and I learned by going out there and showing my stuff that basically what the advice I told everybody was, bring your best stuff, don't bring anything with accidents in it, because basically the editor has this invisible imaginary gun, and every mistake you make on paper is basically a bullet for his gun, and they're just going to shoot you down. So, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually really good advice. I learned more by going to all the conventions and showing my art than anything else, and then I would share it amongst my friends who were also trying to break in the industry, and then I kind of started learning, or started believing that I could be in that top 10%. I started thinking that's where you need to be to get into the industry. So I'd look at everybody else's art in line, in front of me, behind me, what they were showing. I'm like, oh, am I better than that? And I had enough. I was young enough, and I had an ego enough to think I was. So I kept pushing for it. And then I realized, oh shit, you have to be in the top 1%. And then I realized there's 40 books out there at Marvel, and they've got 80 artists. Then it became a timing thing. So if you keep practicing, you keep going back, you keep showing, you keep persevering, you'll eventually get work. There's going to be somebody that will want to try you out, and all they care about is you hitting those deadlines and doing good work. So if you persevere, you can get in.
Well, for me, I totally get my inspiration by having people who have the same passion as I do. I've met these guys at a very early age, especially this man right here. I was a big fan of this guy because he ran a local comic book store here in Sacramento, and just by him being there, doing the stuff that he does now was inspiring. And so I encourage you guys to do the same. Find a group of friends who are passionate as you are, and yes, and this is the best way of improving your skills.
Anybody who wants to be in this industry, find a group of friends that are passionate with you and get together and just work. Because, honestly, when you first start, you're going to suck, like we did. We all sucked. And if you're passionate about it, and if you work hard, then you will get stuff that breaks your direction. And sitting right here on this couch, guys, we've got people that have worked at Electronic Arts, BioWare, Marvel, Image, Dark Horse. We've all done work for these guys. And we started in the back room of a comic shop doing shit that nobody cared about. And we did it long enough, hard enough, and we're passionate enough about it that we broke through. And it's possible. Anybody can do it.
Oh yeah. And the old thing, fake it till you make it, it actually is true.
And believe you belong there.
Stare at comic book artists and then stop looking at them. Don't look at them for a year. Don't even look at a comic book for a year. Start drawing real life, figure drawing, life drawing, and you'll be surprised how you'll start to understand why the lines those other artists put there are there. It will start making more sense to you. If you just keep doing comics and you stare at comic book art, you're going to kind of plateau, and your growth rate will slow up. So you have to go in and out to get better faster. And having a group of people that you do the work with will also accelerate it, and make a stupid name. Pretend you got a studio and make up a name for it. I don't think we did that, but we should.
We should do that now.
Yeah,
Well,
we should do that now.
We had a store. We called it the Box, so that was our place.
And we worked hard at that. The same goes for writers. If you want to be a writer, you can't just read comic books. You got to get out there and read. I mean, go online, look at the 100 greatest books. Read Moby Dick. Read the Brothers Karamazov. Read all this stuff because it's only going to flavor your work.
Whether you want to be a writer or not, you should read them.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be literate whether you want to be a writer or not.